Elden Ring is not a Souls game. No. Wait. Hold on.
Stop! You violated the law!
Elliot, you go! Larry, you can't just...
You're probably wondering,
how is it not a Souls game? It was made by Miyazaki-san.
now hear me out. When people think of Souls games, they typically think of brutal, crushing difficulty, unrelenting enemies, and a world that just seems unfair, and having to go and chase after your souls because you're gonna die again and again. And for Elden Ring, some of that still holds true. I can't tell you how many times Radagon slapped me outside the Erdtree just for me to try running back in, only to be decimated once again. But do you remember your first time going through Sen's Fortress and seeing the giant blades coming at you, having to walk through tight corridors and fight giant lizard men with swords and shields? Many of the things that made the Souls series special seem lost now with Elden Ring. Reused enemies, reused bosses, large map, which feels nice at first, until you realize that nothing connects like it did with Dark Souls. In past Souls games, it felt like everything was connected. Every location, every piece of lore, every enemy. And now much of this just feels lost with Elden Ring. YouTubers who their whole channel focuses on lore, even they struggle to piece together the story of Elden Ring because it feels so disconnected. I mean, listen to this clip from Ratatosker.
Turns out my flame of ambition was quite the meager flame, because I don't understand any of Elden Ring's lore at all. And it's not from a lack of trying. I have read every single item description in the game, including items that were cut from the game. I have read every single piece of dialogue, including dialogue that was removed from the game.
When I first entered the Lands Between, it was like entering a dream, except once I woke up, I couldn't fall back asleep. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne. They all put you in a dream as well, except they kept you there. For the worlds would build on themselves to help you fall deeper and deeper into the abyss. Many enemies are just reused assets or different variations of the same enemy. How many times can you remember fighting a Crystallian or a Misbegotten, or even Margit the Fell Omen? Even main story bosses that are vital to the game. In the end, it just feels like FromSoft bit off more than they can chew. Did the game sell well? Was it a massive success? Theoretically, yes. Financially, yes. If you type in Elden Ring on YouTube, you will find multiple videos talking about why they quit Elden Ring and why they're going back to play previous Souls games. And it's because the previous games captured something special. The games were like lightning in a bottle. It was something that was condensed, but it was magnificent, only limited to a select few. And now with Elden Ring, it's got such a broad scope and so many eyes on it. I believe that FromSoft felt they had to do more, and by doing more, they ended up doing less. I mean, hell, they even had to make a new name for complex areas in this game, rather than just the map itself being littered with meaningful encounters and unique areas. The unique areas are called legacy dungeons, and they're far and few. And honestly, all the caves in the game feel like a cop-out. They feel like Skyrim caves, but 10 times worse. In Skyrim, you never knew what you would find in a cave or what the layout would be. Every cave in Elden Ring is the same, at least to some extent. You always know at the beginning of the cave there will be a grace, and you know what the location and layout will look like. And you know by the end of the cave, you will have another boss fight. You're going to have your fingers crossed that it's not a reused or another variation of a different boss. Hold on. Before you hit the dislike button and think that I just bashed the game and I don't enjoy it, I very much enjoyed Elden Ring. I played it for around 400 hours before I couldn't really ignore its issues. And for a game of today's day and age where so many AAA devs push out games with microtransactions and bugs and glitches, and it has to be patched every week because nothing works, Elden Ring is a testament to its time. However, for a Souls fan, someone who just got into the series a few years ago but loved it immediately, with my first game being Bloodborne, the same feeling just is not there with Elden Ring. The feeling of fear of losing your souls because there's a grace around every corner, or where you're not only fighting against the enemy, but against the environment itself. I, like many other people, waited a long time for Elden Ring to come out. And when it finally did, I went through the game blind. I played it without watching any videos on it. I played it with no HUD, and I tried to get the best experience that I could. The first playthrough was the best, and that's what every Elden Ring player will tell you. But every Dark Souls player will tell you every subsequent playthrough is where the real game is. Before Elden Ring, I had never sat down and played a game where I had been so lost in the world. I had spent about 127 hours on my first playthrough of Elden Ring. I've never spent that much time on another game for its first playthrough. But after running through the world for a little while, you start to see the whole picture slowly fall apart. This was my first time really making a video. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It would help a lot, being that I'm still small right now. I will continue to upgrade and get better as time progresses, and I'll post more. This was just the beginning. I hope you enjoyed. Okai Senshi out.